Welcome back, second graders. So I was asking Sean, what can my introduction be? And he said, this is what I should say. Welcome back, second graders. Who's ready for another chapter of Wayside? So there you go. Who's ready for another chapter of Wayside? This one, chapter 16, titled Mr. Poop. Joy, Marisa, and Jenny were playing jump rope out on the playground. School hadn't started yet. Marisa and Jenny were twirling. Joy sang as she jumped. Mama wore pajamas to the grocery store. She smashed a bunch of eggs on the grocery floor. 1 dozen, 2 dozen, 4 dozen, 6. She dumped a bunch of jelly jars into the mix. Grape jelly, apricot, don't forget cherry, orange marmalade, and wild strawberry. A man walked by and fell into the gloop. He slid next door to the barber shop. Oh. A man walked by and fell into the glop. He slid next door to the barber shop. His icky, sticky body got covered in hair. He tore a hole in his under. Joy tripped over the rope. It wasn't her fault. Marisa had suddenly stopped twirling. Hey, said Joy. What's the big idea? Look, said Marisa. A very handsome stranger was walking toward them. The girls stared at him. Good morning, Marisa. Good morning, Marisa, said the stranger. Jenny? Joy? How do you know my name? Marisa asked nervously. She wasn't supposed to talk to strangers. I've known your name a long time, said the stranger. I see you almost every day. Marisa was beginning to feel scared. She looked around for Louis, the art teacher, but she didn't see him. I can scream loud, she warned. Oh my gosh, said Jenny. It's Louis. Marisa looked at the stranger. He did sort of look like Louis, except his hair was combed, his shirt was tucked in, he was wearing a tie, and there was skin between his nose and his mouth. He had shaved off his mustache. That's Mr. Louis to you, said Louis. I'm a teacher, and I expect to be treated with respect. You want to play jump rope, Mr. Louis? Asked Marisa. Louis was great at jump rope. He could even do it blindfolded. He was the one who taught Joy the song she was singing at the beginning of this story. No, thank you, Marisa, said Louis. I don't play games. I'm an adult. But you're a yard teacher, said Jenny. No, I'm a professional playground supervisor, Louis corrected her. He walked away. Wow, whispered Marisa. I never knew Louis was so handsome. Jenny patted her heart. I think I'm in love. I thought he looked kind of goofy, said Joy. Up in class, everyone was talking about the new Louis. He looks so weird without his mustache, said Calvin. He's handsome, said Bebe. He got mad at me for running across the blacktop, complained John. He made me go all the way back to the edge of the blacktop, then walk across it. And I had to call him Mr. Louis. I am very proud of Louis, said Mrs. Brazil. He has always been a troublemaker, but I think he is trying to be good. We should all give him a chance. Joy stared at Mrs. Drizzle. It's your fault, she thought. You made him shave off his mustache. At recess, Louis refused to pass out the balls. I haven't washed them yet, he said. You're going to wash the balls? Asked Eric Bacon. They're filthy, said Louis, and they all have the wrong amount of air in them. I don't care, said Eric Fry. I do, said Louis. Before I let you play with them, I have to clean them and pump them up with the precise amount of air as specified by Poops. And Poops is going to be an acronym. Remember we talked about acronyms? One letter stands for a word like pride. Poops? Asked Eric Evans. Here we go. The Professional Organization of Playground Supervisors, explained Louis. He showed them the Poops handbook. Well, what are we supposed to do? Asked Eric Fry. Just play and have fun, said Louis. But remember, stay off the grass, no running on the blacktop, no eating, and no excessive shouting. The 3 Erics walked away. What a booger brain, muttered Eric Bacon. Louis heard him. That's Mr. Booger Brain to you, young man, he said. The next day, when the kids tried to go outside for recess, they only made it down to the 4th floor. The stairs were completely jammed with other kids from lower classrooms. Hey, what's going on? Shouted Joy. Louis won't let anyone outside, somebody shouted. He's painting the blacktop. But I have to go to the bathroom, yelled Stephen. Now he's gone too far, said Joy. Excuse me, out of my way. Sorry, coming through, she said as she squeezed in and out of kids, crawled through legs, climbed over heads until she made her way to the door at the bottom of the stairs. Louis was slopping black paint across the blacktop. Joy could see him through the glass door. Next to him was a bucket of paint. Mr. Lewis! She shouted so loud that even the kids back up on the fourth floor had to put their hands over their ears. He came to the door. What are you doing? Joy demanded. The blacktop isn't black, explained Louis. It's gray. A blacktop is supposed to be black. It's right here on page 43 of the Poop's handbook. He opened the book and showed page 43 to Joy. Joy grabbed the book and threw it out across the gray top. It landed plop in the bucket of black paint. All the kids behind her cheered. You're the Poop, said Joy. Louis's red face turned even redder. The place where his mustache used to be turned purple. That's Mr. Poop to you, he said. Oh man, what a difference between Louis before and now Louis, the professional organization of playground supervisors. Mrs. Drizzle has really changed him, I think.